Okay, we're live. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see if anybody's on. We'll give everybody a second. Happy Thursday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining my live. I'm Jenna Quinter. This is my JQHQ. I love all things sales, marketing, and fitness. And today we're going to be talking about the 3 books for new entrepreneurs. And chances are you probably haven't heard of them or read them before, but I'm going to tell you all about it. And then also I'm going to ask you what are some of your near future predictions. And I'm going to tell you what my near predictions are going to be as well. So anyways, if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comment section. If you're not already following me, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell for the reminder for all of my Thursday lives. And then if you are watching this on replay, please go ahead and hashtag replay. And then of course, if you're live, which you are right now, go ahead and hashtag live in the comment section. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna go ahead and silence my phone because it seems like people are trying to get in touch with me. Not a bad thing, huh? Okay, so let's get started with the first book that I'm gonna recommend to us. So this is by RAMBERG she's the host or was the host of MSNBC. This book is called It's Your Business. I'm going to tell you, I go to the dollar store every once in a while, and I found this in the dollar section. And although I bought it for $1, it doesn't mean that it is a bad book. So it's actually a really awesome book. It has a lot of awesome knowledge in it. So it's called It's Your Business. And basically, she gives you tons of tips. So if you are an entrepreneur getting started and you need some ideas for things to talk about as far as content goes, this is kind of where I started. For instance, some of the tips in here is tip number 27, make a list of companies that could buy your business. I mean, isn't that cool? Like who really thinks of that? So they even break it down. So the candidate, what they want, what you want as a business, and then the likelihood of them buying. So they have tons of tips. Here's another one. Let's see here. All right, tip number 16. Test your product idea with your audience before actually developing it. I really like this one because I've been seeing a lot of people lately. What they've been doing is basically everybody on Amazon is selling a book, right? Okay, well, I don't know if you know this, but a lot of people, before they actually write their book, they do pre-orders. People like my friend Lana created a book, and then Elena Cardone she's the wife of Grant Cardone. She even wrote a book, Build Your Empire. She got pre-orders for the book before she actually wrote it, just to see who was interested in the book, and then basically you get funded before you actually write the book. So that's a great idea, is test your product idea with your audience before actually developing it. So go ahead and go onto your social media accounts and ask people what they think of your product or your idea, or if there's a need. And that's how you prove if it's a viable product or not. I actually had to do that when I entered a competition. I was creating a product for executive assistants, and I ended up reaching out to a lot of executive assistants that I knew in the industry to ask them if the product I was developing was something that would be of interest to them. And of course it was. So that just proves if there's a need, if you're solving a problem for somebody, then most likely people are going to want to get it. Tip number 17, never do a 50-50 partnership. I had to reach out to one of my friends. His name is Adam. He owns a pool business in Arizona. I was thinking about starting a business, event planning business, a couple of years ago. And he was saying, always own at least 51% of the business, because if it's 50-50, then, and you guys, you have a partner and you are butting heads, then who's going to be the final decision maker? So if you are starting a business and you have a partner, make sure you have the at least 1% or 0.5% more than the other person, so that way one of you could be the final decision maker. It's just a good idea to protect yourself, and also if something were to happen with the partner as well. So let's see what else. There's a couple of awesome tips in here. Oh, I love this one. I'm in the lead generating business. I create leads for med spas and cosmetic dentists through a company called Pocket Boss. So basically, this is very, very important. It's tip number 90, call your leads within 15 minutes. So if you're not in sales, well, if you're an entrepreneur, then of course you're in sales, because you have to be the #1 salesperson in your company if you are, in fact, going into business. But sales doesn't have to be scary. And you know what's kind of cool is I actually started selling cars last year. It was an awesome experience. I recommend it for any young woman or guy to get into car sales as soon as possible. I learned that from the Shark Tank guy who owns I can't think of it. I can't think of his name. I can't think of it. Anyways, he owns the Dallas Mavericks, and he said if you were to have to start over from scratch, he would get into car sales. So car sales just really makes you strong. It really makes you a really great negotiator. Your people skills are strengthened. You start to understand the psychology between buying and selling. And it's a really great area, a place to network, to get to know great people. So, I mean, some people hate the car sales industry, the salesman behind it. But you know what? Coming from the point of view of being in the position of selling a car, it really made me very strong in business, and it also gives you a sense of confidence. So anyways, going back to this tip number 90, call your leads within 15 minutes. I always say call your leads within 5 minutes, because as a lead gets older, it gets colder. So when I generate leads for people, I usually come up with a name, email, and phone number, and it's a partnership. Whenever somebody hires me for their marketing to create leads for them, they have an understanding that they will fail if they do not call their leads within 5 minutes. So that is actually one of my mandatory requirements for people that work with me, is they have to call their leads that I create for them within 5 minutes. Otherwise, the leads are no good. People, we're on the internet these days. People can go shop anywhere. So the second that the lead gets old, it's cold and no good anymore. So there's some great tips in this book. I recommend it. It's Your Business by J.J. RAMBERG. She has all kinds of tips, like 170 tips, actually more than that. I think, let me see. She has 181 tips. So it's just great for any entrepreneur, whether you're a new entrepreneur or you have some credentials behind you, get this book. It's Your Business. Next book is Extreme Ownership. This book is so incredible. JOCKO, WILLINK, and LEIF BABIN wrote this, and it was a New York #1 New York Times bestseller, and I'm on chapter 8 right now. I've been doing a chapter a day. It really is incredible. So if you haven't heard of this, it's called Extreme Ownership, How the U.S. Navy SEALs Lead and Win. So as you know, Navy SEALs are rough. They are tough. They go through, they have grit. They can do anything. I mean, these people are like modern day superheroes. They risk their lives in order to save our lives. But it's incredible. The training that they have to go through is very brutal. There's all kinds of documentaries that you can watch if you've never seen a Navy SEAL train. And there's a lot of Navy men who will say that they're Navy SEALs, but in fact, they probably aren't. They're the few, they're proud, they're hardworking. And basically what this book is all about is being a leader. So it teaches you how to lead, and it also teaches you that if your company is failing, then it is the leader or the management's fault. And they are to take the blame of it and not blame anybody else. So if your team is failing, most likely it's your fault for A, not training them or showing them the right purpose of, or giving them a reason to believe in what they're doing, or B, you hired the wrong person and it's up to you to either train them to get them on a better path or let go of them. So it's a really awesome book. The principles, they break it down. They're simple and make it really easy. Basically, it's taking ownership for mistakes and failures, and it's hard, but it teaches you to keep developing your strategies, keep leading by doing, and also basically teaching people that like you have one mission, and if your team doesn't understand the mission or they're confused and they're not producing, it's probably because the final mission or destination wasn't explained. So let me explain it in simple terms. Let's say, for instance, because I worked in the car industry. You work in the car industry, they decide to change my payment plan. So now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I was making this really amazing money with this payment plan, and now you are making me sell 15 cars instead of 12 cars a month, and but you're giving me more money on the back end once I hit certain goals. Well, if I don't understand why my payment plan has changed, then I may not try hard, or I may give up, when in fact the leader's responsibility is to basically be able to explain and answer questions to the lower level team. So for instance, like if I didn't understand the payment plan, then it would be my job to ask the leader. And then if the leader doesn't know why the payment plan was even changed, then he's supposed to ask the CEO. And if the CEO gets mad at the main manager, the general manager, for even asking questions, then it's the general manager's job to take the blame, to say, hey, I didn't ask the right questions. My team doesn't understand. They're not producing because they don't understand the payment plan. Had you explained it where the lower producing, lower hanging fruit, it's meant to kind of wean them out, but the people that are producing are going to end up making more money, then everybody will come on. What I'm trying to say, God, I made that really difficult. I'm sorry, y'all. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if your general manager and their employees don't understand why the payment plan was even changed, then that means the mission has failed. And so basically this book just teaches you how to get everybody on the right belief system and to believe in what they're doing and to know the reason why things change and why things are the way they are. And if they aren't simplified, then you're supposed to simplify it so that way everybody's on the same page. So that's Extreme Ownership. Go ahead and read the book. It's really pretty incredible. It gives you the background of some of the war, some of the things that they sacrificed, also how they had to work with different teams like the Army and the Marines. So yeah. All right. Next is you suddenly lose everything. What would you do from day 1 to day 30 to save yourself? This is a 30days.com. If you haven't heard of Russell Brunson, go check him out. I'll put a link down below. But this book is incredible because it gives you basically a 30-day launch. Like if you've always wanted to start a business, and you wanted to know like what somebody would do in their first 30 days in order to become like super successful, or what they would do in order to get to their success, these are those entrepreneurs. They literally wrote out their entire story. So that you have people from high ticket coaching. So if you want to become a high ticket coach, they teach you how to start that within 30 days. Application video funnel. If you don't know what a funnel is, it's basically like an online, you know how Amazon, you put something in your cart and then usually something else pops up for you to buy. That's the short term for a funnel. So it's basically you're going to buy a grill, but you also need to get oven mitts. You also need to get the spatulas to flip, and then you got to buy the meat to cook. So that's a funnel. It just adds on more to the ending sale. So let's see, start a service provider business, and let's see, fundraising for nonprofits, live events. Let's see what else they have. They have things for teach a master class, affiliate marketing. They have things for starting an e-commerce shopping business. They have connect on Instagram, Facebook marketing services, and coaching clients. So if you're a fitness coach, they teach you how to do that. An ebook launch. So let's go ahead and break one down real quick. Let's see. Do I have any comments, live chats? Okay, it doesn't look like I have anybody asking any questions right now, but that's okay. So let's see. All right. Let's say you want to, all right, e-commerce. Okay, coaching clients. We'll just do that. That one seems easy enough. So chapter 26, let's go ahead and break that up, break that open. Let's see, chapter 26. Sorry, this live stream is going a little longer than what I anticipated, but I thank you all for joining and listening. I'm new and everybody's a beginner, so you got to start somewhere, right? Okay, so this guy, Akbar Sheikh, he's the CEO of Ethical Principles of Persuasion. So coaching clients via Facebook. He won a huge award, so that means he sold millions of dollars within his company. And he just breaks it down, day one. Here's the thing about being an entrepreneur, being an artist. Day two, clear your mind. Day three, he teaches you how to make a good funnel, how to write good copy, what kind of email should you be sending. Day four, he goes through every single day until you have built your coaching business. So let's go ahead and skip to day 30. But this book is incredible. I mean, there's a wealth of knowledge in here. And I suggest you guys do one of these 30-day challenges, just because it's going to make you that much better as an entrepreneur. So day 3, it says, remember, I went from broke, fat, alone, and homeless to being a top 1% earner, #1 international best-selling author, being featured on top podcasts, having a complete team, being named top social entrepreneur, having a solid email list, sponsoring a lot of orphans, giving the gift of vision to blind kids, hosting live events, being in top inner circles. So he basically teaches you how to go from day 1 to day 30 to get to be able to do those types of things. He talks about creating opt-in pages. If you don't know what that is, I'll go ahead and do a video on an opt-in page. It's basically you put your email address in order to join a newsletter. So yeah, that's the simplified version. So anyways, that's just one aspect of it. There's a bunch of people. So service packages via LinkedIn. So if you wanted to offer your services on LinkedIn, this girl does that. She teaches you how to be successful in 30 days, or at least how to get started. So it's like having all these individual mentors with what they would be doing in 30 days to become successful. So there's 600 pages to this book, but it's called 30days.com. I'll post a link for it later. All right, to the fun part. So what are your future predictions? Okay, so this one I thought was really kind of funny because it's weird to think about predicting, because when I think of predictions, I think about like this girl who has like a mythical ball, crystal ball that she's staring into, and she tells you your fortune. And I definitely am not one of those people, but I do love horoscopes. I'm a Pisces, so I'm a fish. My personality trait that I took online represents a dolphin. Okay, so anyways, my predictions for the future would be like, I think Amazon and Netflix will combine, or maybe Amazon and Disney, but then of course that leaves Hulu. So whoever doesn't partner with Amazon will partner with Hulu. So yeah, I think Amazon and Disney may partner together, or Amazon and Netflix, or Hulu and Disney. So I do think that like one of those things will happen. I thought about this one for a little bit, and I can't remember his name. I'll look up real quick. So I'm actually thinking that the CEO of Disney will run for president one day, and most likely he will run against Ivanka Trump. So because there hasn't been a female president, so I'm thinking, who's in the spotlight already right now? Well, it's obviously Ivanka Trump, but who knows? There could be another female that runs for president. So, but I'm thinking that if we have another, or when we have another female, or when we have another election down the road, maybe it will be Ivanka Trump, or running against the former CEO of Disney. So Disney CEO, let me look this up. And the reason why I thought that is just because this guy seems like he has all of the credentials. His name is Robert Eger. Robert Eger. Yeah. Sometimes I like to Google CEOs just to look to see, what people are up to. And also people have been stepping down from their positions, which I've been thinking is a little weird. So maybe he's getting ready for some type of president election one day, years down the road. So I'm not into politics really. I just thought that this might be kind of fun to guess on. And then I also think that they will be definitely getting rid of paper currency and coins. And the reason why I say that is because back in like 1933, FDR, Franklin D. Roosevelt, he created the executive order, which was 6102, where he basically banned all gold bullion. And bullion is like gold bars. And so he forbid the hoarding of gold. I don't know if anybody knows this, but yeah, the USA actually forbid people to have gold billions. So they made people sell. This is like during the Great Depression era. So 1933, they made people sell their gold back to the US government, and they got money in exchange for it. However, the exchange rate changed, of course, after the US was able to collect all the gold. And that way, the money, basically, everybody got ripped off. Like all of a sudden, the United States they have all this gold, and they supposedly are holding it in the United States Bullion Depository, which is also known as the Fort Knox in Kentucky. You guys can research all this. This is just kind of like a basic short history lesson. But yeah, so basically they took money from everybody. Like they paid everybody a little percentage, but it was definitely worth more once the US had their hands on it. So supposedly the United States have always been the powerhouse and had the most gold. Who knows if it's still in Fort Knox or not? Nobody really knows. There's like documentaries, whether there's conspiracy of whether there's gold in there or not in there. Chances are all these other countries own parts of gold because the US has probably sold parts of it. So anyway, you can look into all the detail and think for yourself, but I definitely think that they will be getting rid of actual dollar bills and coins and switching to some type of currency online, just because that's where everything is going. It's already, everybody's coming up with their own like online portals for payments. It's crazy. Even the IRS, when I was doing my taxes, asked me if I had any online bank accounts, or if I had purchased any cryptocurrency and stuff. They wanted to know that stuff. And so that's what tells me that the government's trying to take control of currency. So that's my prediction, is they're going to get rid of it. History repeats itself sometimes. And so they'll probably get rid of the dollar bills and coins eventually one day. But during my lifetime, I don't know. So anyways, let me know what your future predictions are. Would love to hear that. Also, go ahead and comment below what topics you want me to speak about. I had Bone Crusher last week. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for requesting for me to do a live grocery shopping. I definitely will do that. I'll create a video for y'all of what I buy when I go grocery shopping. So if you're not already following me, go ahead and subscribe. I'm JQHQ. This is Jenna. Thank you so much. Love you all. And I want to leave you with this one last quote. You still have time to become the person you want to be. You still have time to become the person you want to be. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. I will catch you next week on my next Thursday YouTube live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I was a little late today. I'm sorry, but I hope all is forgiven with this wealth of knowledge. So go check out these books, Extreme Ownership, and It's Your Business. And you suddenly lose everything, what you would do in 30 days to gain it all back. All right. Bye, y'all. Signing off. Thank you so much. Oh, one other thing. If you're interested in getting leads, go ahead and click on my link below. I'll add it in there. I have a calendar, and you can set up a strategy call with me, and then that way I can go over how I can get you more leads through your door. So if you want more customers, more clients, I usually work with just cosmetic dentists or med spa owners, but I'm open to working with roofers. I also do leads for solar roofing too. So my fiance does that stuff as well. So would love to do a strategy call and see where we can go. So go ahead and click that link. Thank you so much. Thank you. Y'all have an amazing day. Bye.